Well, we've got the Christmas. Yes. Good.
Nothing better.
Your colors. Yeah. I can tell you.
I had one thing here.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So over around this guy, in case he wants, watch if I need to be corrected or something.
That's fine. I haven't done that.
Yeah, but I just think I don't really
Yeah, because they had canceled.
So I haven't gone to it, but I saw it. And I kind of like, but I actually got sidetracked, so I was gonna look at August 23rd. Yeah, reference in August 23rd here. Yeah, but it stated that he played through the left. But it stated that I'm stretching
Whatever it tells you, they can't. But it also talks about the restaurant manager and the general manager. Talks about just the experience. She's gonna be.
Jeremy won this. That's pretty good.
First email was wrong, but she sent us two more emails. Explaining the first email.
Updated hours or something like that.
Did she say that he was there? Okay, that's the say get in?
Maybe the committee was.
Welcome everyone to the March 2026 annual POA meeting. Glad you could make it. If there's anyone here for their first meeting or the first in a while, could you raise your hand and let us know? Okay, stand up and identify yourself.
Well, a lot of people know me anyway. Jim Dice. Perfect.
Okay, and I know you're down on Ashwood, right?
Yes.
Welcome. Anyone else? Okay, the first order of business is to review the minutes from the meeting in February.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion to accept in a second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are accepted. So we'll jump right ahead to the general manager's report. It's all yours, Bill.
Okay, the first thing I was gonna talk about is the beautification club, but, I think everybody kind of got an introduction to them. If you hadn't before, when you walked in today, you passed out cookies, get them all passed out, maybe have some more still sitting over there with, cookies. They also set up they secured a donation box just, outside the pro shop before you even go into the grill, to raise funds for Christmas decor primarily. They had a successful weekend at the Leprechaun Golf Tournament, raising over $1,000. I think the total was $1,050, if I'm not mistaken. And their total that they've generated so far in revenue for Christmas decor is right around $2,700. There already been some donations. And there was got another $261 out of the box this morning or today. So we'll add that to the total. We're also having a meeting with the Purple Heart group about the monument on Wednesday at 9:30 at the Welcome Center. If anybody wants to attend that, we're going to be at the Welcome Center at 9:30 on Wednesday discussing the Purple Heart monument. We're also seeking a part-time activities director to plan and lead social programs and events for the residents. We'd like to hire for this position as soon as possible. We have it listed on Indeed, and we'll keep it up until it's built. The Easter egg hunt is the weekend after next on April 4th. Got a flyer for that over there. We also have Christmas in July patio party scheduled, which will also help to generate some funds for beautification. And that's on Sunday, July 19th at 5:30. And then the garage sale set for August 8th, the same National Garage Sale weekend. So it's the second Saturday in August. It's set for that. The grill hours, I know there was a mistake in the first email that went out about the grill hours. It talked about, it was an old email, talked about being closed in August or something like that from what I heard. We've got some corrective emails that went out after that, but the grill hours are changing in April to what was determined in September as 7 to 7. So of course we'll stay open later on Wednesdays and Fridays, but the grill hours are 7 to 7, starting in April. And then the big thing, we've got the big vote, I think everybody knows, for planning and zoning coming up on April 7th. Want to make sure everybody gets out some votes to keep, votes yes, to keep planning and zoning in Stone County. So that will give us some support and help us in the future. That's all good.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go for the finance committee now, Eric.
Okay. Everybody has their multicolored financials here, and we'll stay on that left-hand side, middle column. We'll proceed to the bottom of the page, to the bottom line. There we can see that we recorded a net loss of $102,093 for the month of February. Though it was a net loss, this figure was $37,000 better than our budgeted net loss of $139,402. You stay in that same middle column, just kind of move up to the very top line here. We'll look at common area revenue. So total common area revenue came in at $245,951. Getting into the detail, based on this summary, you can see that $227,160 of this was assessment revenue. And if anyone has a question as to why assessment revenue went down when dues were raised, the simple answer is the difference in how we're billing timeshare. Previously, we used to bill timeshare $39,600 a month. Currently, we're billing them $25,417 a month to comply with that new agreement where we bill them $305,000 annually. We did not record any activities or facility fees for the month of February. Welcome Center lease revenue recorded $3,570. Night and rental fee revenue recorded $5,511, which was slightly off budget. We did have a busier January than last year, but we gave some back in the month of February as we experienced less check-ins than February 2025. Year to date, though, we're up. And finally, other revenue came in at $9,711. Other revenue was elevated as we did bring on 2 new builds with S&J Builders. The new builds are taking place on Lot 53 and Lot 54 at Bedrock and Forest Lake Drive. Moving down to common area expenses, which is that red block just underneath. All departments are really underneath budget for the month. Its total common area expenses came in at $235,431. The figure was $17,000 better than our budget figure of $252,689. Thus, common area posted a net income of $10,519, which was roughly $16,500 better than the budget figure of $5,957. Moving down to golf, we can see we posted revenue of $41,023. This figure was $3,400 better than budget, and about $16,000 better than the same month last year. We experienced some nicer weather within the month of February, and it showed the number of rounds played. Getting down to pro shop and golf course maintenance expenses, both were underneath budget, and therefore golf course posted a net loss of $94,530, which is typical in these first 2 months of the year. And this figure was $16,500 better than our budget figure of $111,051. Moving down to townhome, it was right on track with the actuals and budget, posting a townhome net of $10,818. Nothing more to go into there. And then we can arrive at food and beverage. Food and beverage operation posted gross revenue of $28,472. This figure was roughly $8,000 off the budget figure of $36,595. The difference between 2026 and 2025 was simply one event. In 2025, we did have a catered event that had $8,000 in catered food. And in 2026, we did not have that same event. So that's really the difference in revenue. You can see that member discounts came in at 12.9%. That was a definite uptick from the 7.9% member participation from 2025. This really translates into 40% of sales in 2025 came from members, whereas 65% of sales came from members in 2026 in the month of February. Cost of goods came in at 37.4%. Expenses were down by roughly $7,000 as we recorded $33,867 in expenses. And so the lower expenses helped to gain some ground on the lower revenue. We can see we posted a net loss of $19,721, which was roughly $1,000 more than the budgeted loss of $18,962. And then if you just move over to the right-hand side of the page, middle column, go down to the bottom line, and kind of go to year-to-date where we're at. We can see through the month of February, we posted a net loss of $221,892 compared to our budget figure of $283,171. So therefore, year-to-date, we're $61,000 ahead of budget through the first 2 months. Anything on the income statement? Questions? Just move back to the balance sheet then. Kind of stay on the top left here. We can see we ended the month of February with $1,118,503 in total cash. It's an increase of $2,000 from the month of January, and when compared to the same month last year, February 2025, we're currently about $298,000 better. Concerning capital expenditures, thus far in 2026, we've invested $210,000 back into the village. Just kind of recap some of these. We did repair the west entry bridge. We did do new driving mats out on the range. There were 4 gators purchased from the previous golf course maintenance lease. We did put $50,000 down for the work to be completed at the pavilion retaining wall. We've roofed the bridge, the west entry bridge, and both guard shacks, which have been completed. We also completed a replacement and reworking of a portion of the upstairs main dining HVAC system. And then we also purchased some new furniture for the welcome center lobby. So total so far this year, $210,000 back in capital expenditures. One of the next projects too that we have in the near future, just to remind everybody or inform everybody, is we will be repaving the entire entry and exit of the west gate entry and exit up there. So communication will go out for that project when the time arrives, as it's definitely going to take some coordination as portions of it will be shut down at least to allow traffic flow. So that'll be coming out in an email though, once it's time. But that's all I got here for the balance sheet as well. Or any questions? No?
Good report.
Thank you. And the ACC report, Johnny?
Good evening. We did have a busy meeting in March. It is spring, so everybody is doing yard work or asking for requests. We did have 2 black fence, 4-foot wrought iron fences that we did approve to be put in. We had 2 homes that are resodding their whole entire yard, so we did approve both of those. They're taking everything out and redoing both of those. We approved a new landscaper, Integrity Landscapes. We approved front door replacement. We approved the landscape plan on a new build on Black Forest for the works. They're getting near completion, so we approved their landscape plan. We did approve Keith Grubaugh to move over to the approved builder list. He completed his Forest Lake home. We did the final inspection on that. Everything was completed and good, so we did move him over to the approved builder list. He did submit 2 new homes to be built, one on limestone and one on beechwood. Both of these are spec homes for 2 different people who bought the lots and don't live here, want to build spec homes. We did approve one of them to be built. The second one at this time, we did not approve it. We wanted to see how he does a little bit further with that before we let him do 2 spec homes at the same time, due to our current last builder that built 2 spec homes beside each other that are still sitting and we had issues with. So we did have a conversation with him, and we let him know that, you know, once he gets a little further along with that first one, he's gonna redraw the plans a little bit better, add some more colors to them and some stuff to them, and then resubmit that to us. We did approve a new house to be built on Weatherstone from SMJ Builders. We did discuss the 3 applications that were submitted and I believe were presented to you for our opening seat. We approved some tree work cleanup behind Mr. Dodd's home, and then we also approved the final landscape plan for S&J Builders for the Black Forest home. They're on top of the hill across from Backliners as well too. That one's near completion, will be done this next month. We had several violation letters. Most of them are just yard maintenance, maintenance on the home, repainting, siding, doors, trash cans, 4 trailer parking fines. And then we did our 10 new construction build inspections. One of them did submit for a final inspection, which is on Fox Hollow, which did not pass by any means. They got a list of significant amount of items to correct for their final inspection. Other than that, that was it for this month.
You do have an open seat on the committee. Does the committee have a preference for which of the 3 they would like to have?
We do, yes. We had 3 applicants that submitted, and our first recommendation would be Mr. Robinson, our second would be Mr. Smith, and then our third would be Mr. Burrell.
Well, the ACC announced Robinson as their first choice. Is there questions from the board as to his moving on to the committee?
I've evaluated the documents that are sent, the resumes. I'll make a motion to accept Tim Robinson.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to accept Mr. Robinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Mr. Robinson can become a member of the ACC.
Thank you very much. You have a good meeting.
And you can go ahead and notify him prior to the next meeting. Congratulations. And withdraw. Golf committee report, Larry?
Should be short and sweet. We had our first meeting last Thursday of the year. And basically the biggest thing coming out of that meeting is we're gonna have what we've termed as a divot party. April the 2nd, it's gonna start at 4 o'clock here. 4 o'clock, and basically what we've done is we had some discussions last fall of what can we do as members and local golfers in this community to improve play. And 2 of the things that popped out of that was better player upkeep of the greens and better player upkeep of the fairways. So Colby volunteered to show everyone that shows up for the meeting how to properly repair ball marks on the green. If you do it the wrong way, you can cause more damage than just leaving them alone. And then second thing, Colby's going to show us the proper way to fill divots in the fairway. Same thing there. If you do it incorrectly, you're going to kill the grass. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have that at 4 o'clock. Colby's going to kind of give us a discussion of what the appropriate process is and procedures and why it's beneficial. And then we're going to head out to the course and actually repair some ball marks on the greens and repair some divots in the fairways. So we thought that would be a good way to get everybody involved in understanding and knowing this is how you can help keep this golf course top notch. That's pretty much it. We got our next meeting coming up in April.
Did you say April 2?
April 2nd, yeah, for the divots. There's going to be an email that's going to come out.
Remind them to vote. If they haven't voted, they need to vote when they show up.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that.
Hold on a second. Craig, I noticed whenever I rode in one of the club carts that they have that sticker that's down on the windshield talking about pace of play and how to speed up and do all that stuff. And as a private card owner, it'd be great if we had that list so that we knew that we should be doing the same thing. Just to
Okay,
clarify.
I can say something to Phil.
Yeah.
Phil, yeah,
Because it's a great list.
yeah, I noticed it last week when my car was in the shop.
Yeah.
Anything else? Thanks, Craig.
Thank you.
The old business is the ballot nominating committee. And at this point, the nominating committee will be the next committee to step into this. We currently are in receipt of 3 applications for the board of directors, hoping to get 1 or 2 more. We'll see people talk, but don't always follow up with the action.
What's the deadline? What's the deadline?
April 3rd. And there is a meeting scheduled for the nominating committee on on April 1st to review the
That's a good thing.
applications we have at that time. If any are received after, we'll take a look at those also. I thought an ideal day.
Bill, you got something different?
No, I don't think so.
The April 3rd is the cutoff date, so, any that we see between the 1st and the 3rd, we'll take a look at too before the vote, finalized. And that's all the old business, so, the grill signage is the first item on your new business, Bill, if you want to speak to that.
Yeah, so I just, looking for your feedback. I know that I mentioned it before, but this is, within budget. It's what Christine is, proposing she wants to do in the areas that were attached on the email, but on 76 and out in front of, the Parkway and Ledgestone. They're about $50 a piece, so I would expect we'd have to order a few backups. If we went with this, it's on Amazon, the 11.5 foot. If the board wants to go that direction, I just want to make sure, as far as the signage goes, up on 76 and on the Parkway, that before we move forward, that you'd be comfortable with the looks and
What's the message going to be?
the grill is where the grill is and open to the public. Breakfast and lunch, whatever we want it to be, but just identify
Well,
that we
that's
have
what I
a
was
grill and then
wondering.
it's open.
If somebody had a concept as far as what.
On the park, where do you put on the park?
Just outside Ledgestone Lane, when you pull out, to identify that it's there, where,
So you're talking about just that.
and then up on 76,
You're in our lot.
yeah. Our lottery will put it on the other side of the easement.
Are these going to be, heavy duty enough to stand up to the winds and all that, since they're just a single post?
Right, that's why we had ordered backup. I mean, these are at $50. There's one across the street over at the coffee shop that you can see. Just to kind of give you an idea what the 11.5 foot looks like.
So you have to put 2.5 foot with a single pole,
Mhm.
so good winds will take that baby.
They're pretty stable, the way you install them into the ground and the way they interlock.
Yeah.
The
The poles should stay together, yeah, we just gotta get it anchored well. If we put them up. I heard there was some concern about the looks, but
I'm gonna be honest with you, Chuck, I'm not in favor of it because to me, they look very tacky.
I don't have an opinion, I haven't seen it. You said those that went across the street.
can see one across the street. I could draft up a artist rendering if you want to look, if you want to stick with, colors, you know, maroon, gray, or something neutral.
I'd like to have a visual on it, because depending on the color of what the message is, I think that just makes a big difference, what you're trying to. Because you gotta remember, cars are driving 45 miles an hour, they're not really going to read what's on there,
Right.
in my mind.
Yeah, it can be a lot. It's just, I have to identify that there's.
I would think we do so much better having, I think we do so much better having a sign. I know that we have the road thing that says it grows this direction. But I think if you had something more like a sign down there that said open for breakfast, or if they're having Friday night dining, and have it be an interchangeable type sign that they could promote special things.
Done out the corner of the
Right
parkway.
at the corner here, I don't think you're going to be grabbing a lot of attention off of Highway 76 for people to come here. That's my opinion.
So, we should table this for, next month's meeting, so we have a copy, or a little better visual of what sign we're looking at, colors, you know, selected, et cetera. Is there a motion to that effect?
Yeah. Just postpone it probably next week.
Just postpone. Okay, we'll revisit this next month when we, you know, have a little better idea of what it's going to look like and the colors it will be. The next item here is the proposed food and beverage advisory group. It's been asked several times over the last few months, that could be a group set up that could advise on things they think would improve the operation in the grill and participation on the part of the village. We've talked about it. I've had approximately 20, maybe 22 people verbalize interest in it. We have put together a proposed charter for that group, which I'm going to ask the board to accept today. And looking forward, once the charter is approved, there will be a meeting called sometime probably the middle of next month, where everyone that has voiced interest will be invited to that meeting. They will be given a copy of the charter, and if they want to continue at that time to be involved, they will also be given an application form to fill out. This applications will all be collected, brought back to the board, and the board will make the selection of the first 7 inaugural members of this group. So, I did pass on copies of the proposed charter. The only note I would make to it is I missed a bullet point, and that is the board will retain the right to remove members of the group if they are failing to operate in the terms of the charter.
I just have one question.
Oh, sure.
On the composition, the general manager, food and beverage director will be permanent members of this group, but I'm assuming that's non-voting, liaison type?
You'll be both, liaisons.
Okay. Non-voting, right? Because then that keeps you at stay.
Are there other questions from the board?
I'll make a motion that we accept the charter given the note that you made about the board having the right to remove.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? With none, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, motion carried. For those of you in here that have voiced interest. You'll probably be getting an email from me, as I said, like the middle of next month, setting up a time and date and a place for a meeting that we can move forward with this. And now we come to the open forum. Anyone that has any question, comment, complaint, criticism, come on up, state your name, and you have 3 minutes to tell us what's on your mind.
So what is it gonna be about?
Hi, I'm Diane Hobson. I live over on Cedar Ridge Way, but tonight I'm here as part of the beautification club. And if you were here last month, Rita DeRozier gave a lot of detail about what we're doing. And we just wanted to follow up and see if anybody had questions about the project. If you've been to the grill, I'm sure you've seen the Christmas tree. And what we were hoping to do is just get some interest generated, which it really has. There by the Christmas tree, we have gifts, the donation box, and if you see these green envelopes, this is where you would put your donation, put it in the drop box, which is a locked, secure box, and Bill is checking for donations in the box for us. And we're getting closer to what we need. But I don't know if you've seen the pictures, this is what we're going for. We're gonna start with the outside, we want garland. We're looking at commercial grade, pre-lit garland. And it will be out at the road, the Welcome Center as you come in. If we get more money than we had anticipated, the next step is to do inside decoration. And when we talk about that, we mean the Welcome Center, the grill, the foyer, all these rooms that Cassie rents out. And so we've been going through, with Bill's help, we've been going through all the old decorations to see what needs to be replaced and what can be reused. And anything that we feel doesn't fit the theme, which is going to be traditional Christmas. We're going to have red, green, gold, and white lights. And so anything that we currently own that doesn't fit the new decor idea, we will be selling at the garage sale on August 8th, like Bill said. So any money that we make at the garage sale will also generate more money that we can purchase things that we could use. There's been talk of like deer, you know, outside of the west gate at the guard shack and things like that. But what we want to do is draw attention to Stonebridge Village. Hopefully if we can get them in the gate, then we can get them into the grill, the golf course, and all those things. So just wanted to see if we had any questions from anybody about what we're doing with your donations. And we want to say thank you to the board and to Bill for your support. And we were very successful over the weekend of the golf tournament. So thank you for your donations at the golf course this weekend. Any questions?
Thank you.
No?
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'm Darrell Ransdell, live on Granite. And I'd like to make some recommendations regarding the restaurant. And I appreciate your time and serious consideration of the following recommendations.
Joe, I don't mean to cut you off, but the purpose of the Food and Beverage Advisory Group is to take this and like to keep it with that group if possible.
Well, I'd like to read this if I may. And once you see this, you'll see the reason for my discussing this in front of the board and membership, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. There are two significant problems, in my opinion, with successful restaurant operation. The first one It's been brought up a number of times that there's only 18% of the residents that make use of the restaurant facility. And second, there are not sufficient funds to operate at a level that will satisfy the expectation of members who own property or use property in the village. $100 minimum should be charged to each property owner monthly that would be available to apply for use of the restaurant in the following month. The monies would be available for those who have paid their account current. The charge would be made to delinquent accounts as well as and collected along with past due assessments. The amount unused of the $100 minimum charge would be forfeited each month with gratitude for support of the restaurant operation. An amount of $1 or $2 could be charged to nightly rental guests, which would be credited toward the restaurant operation. Company owners of the property used for nightly rental must designate an individual who could use the monthly minimum. Stonebridge Village timeshare owners would be charged a $25 minimum fee for each week of ownership. The POA could provide a ticket to the timeshare office, which would indicate the name of the owner or guest and week of timeshare use, which would be the week of use in the restaurant. In order to help defray costs of billing and subsequent payment of the fee received to the POA, a $5 discount could be retained by the timeshare office. As to property owners, the fee would be charged to delinquent accounts and remitted as received to the POA. A statement was made at the last board meeting that such a fee was against the covenants. It is covered by section 8.4 subsection D as follows. The right of the association to charge members and their guests reasonable admission or other fees for use, service, and enjoyment of any recreational facility or other improvement situated upon the common properties. Such user fee need not be uniform among the various classes of members and their guests, but may be established by the association's board of directors in its absolute discretion and may be changed without notice. I believe the software used by the POA is also used by many other communities, which include accommodation for accounting for such minimum fees. The board is in the process of appointing a committee, which is what you're referring to make recommendations on menu and so forth for the operation of the restaurant. The restaurant needs to provide for satisfactory menus, hours, and facilities to provide for the enjoyment of members without the continuing underfunding provided by the board. To expect it to operate on a profitable or break-even basis is not practical, as has been proven by all the efforts of the manager and the board over many years. Charging a minimum fee has been recommended by many members, but has been ignored by the board as not manageable. It can be managed with some thought and explanation of benefits that it will provide to members and their guests. Allow the increased staff to operate the bar and grill at least till 9 p.m. and allow use of the facilities for dinner. Allow improved menu items that will exceed our limitations under the current board demand and give the restaurant committee ability to function and satisfy members. Allow the staff to improve presentation of many menu items. Another recommendation is to open the upstairs dining on Friday and perhaps Saturday nights to serve outside guests as well as members. The upstairs should be available for use by members often and for many holiday and private meal functions. Fees for member use of private parties should be at least half of the rates charged to the public. It's owned by the members. The board needs to provide the monies and equipment for grill and upstairs operation and get out of the daily operation of the restaurant. They need to provide guidelines for the manager and expect results accordingly. Many recommendations by members over the years had to be turned down simply due to economics of the restaurant operation.
It's time for the board to enact this minimum monthly fee recommendation and begin a new era of restaurant operation.
Okay, first question I have for you, Daryl. How many property owners in Stonebridge have never been in this restaurant?
Ask Bill.
We got, the last report we ran, had 749 individual users that were owners in the village. So is this a copy?
For each, please.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
But those are owners within the village. How many out of area owners use the grill? Can we tell that?
Those were total owners. But yeah, we could set up the report to do it by address.
By one
And then we
o'clock.
could do it by, we can sort by the area code and get an idea on who's in and who's out. But I do have something to add to that, if you guys want. I got this 12-page document here, and what this is an informational, non-persuasive document on food and beverage minimum possibilities at Stonebridge. So it shouldn't pose one direction or another, whether we should or shouldn't. It just identifies the risks involved and how it's structured. So if you do move forward and structure one, it provides high risk, low risk, and then it also references each area, the covenants and our bylaws, but it's mainly covenants that talks about where we have the right or might not have the right. But I do have that, if you guys want that to go with this, to take to the group, and then I also have copies for the residents too, if you guys would like that. It's just information.
I have a question, Bill.
Yeah.
Daryl, are you assuming or you want to implement that minimum wage for property owners also?
All property owners.
Whoa.
Homeowners, lodges, fairways.
What about a lot of them? You don't live there.
I can't hear you.
What about lot owners?
All the lodges.
Lot owners.
Lot owners.
Lot owners, they don't live here.
People who pay dues.
Okay.
They're members.
They lose their rights.
Well, Bill's passing out the information. Anyone else?
Do you want to? Do you want to?
Just one.
Okay. Seeing nothing else,
Do you guys like to?
Just one.
the next meeting of the POA will be Monday, April 20th.
I think anything we do on this food and beverage minimum, we should do it at the annual meeting. As far as any type of it, the fact that we're considering it, I think we should open the annual meeting to voice their.
No, on the food and beverage minimum.
Well, food and beverage minimum, yeah. I don't think we should do anything till then.
This says here on page 2, what the document does not complain. It says no reference to food and beverage minimum. In that document that I just read you, right from the covenants, it talks about a fee. And that fee is related to common property.
It talks about that later in the document too. It's just that's just an informative, it's just a straight up.
I know that if
Informative,
somebody reads
non-persuasive.
it, they can easily misunderstand that it's not possible.
Yeah, I just recommend reading the whole thing.
Okay, and the next meeting will be Monday, the 27th of April. And once again, don't forget to vote on the 7th. We want to keep the Planning and Zoning Commission, so vote yes.
7.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Sorry.